I wanted to upgrade to some over-the-ear headphones for my everyday use and for an upcoming vacation. I did some research online looking at the usual brands when I came across the Anker Space One Pro headphones and was immediately impressed with the user reviews and the price. What truly captured my attention was the extensive feature set. In this video, I delve into the features and design choices, thoroughly explaining why I ultimately decided to choose this relatively new brand for my personal use. I've been a long-time fan and user of in-ear earbuds for listening to music and podcasts as well as watching TV at night time. However, I'm not an audiophile and generally choose my personal audio tech based on the depth of features rather than appreciation of high-fidelity audio playback. Unlike sound and audio enthusiasts, my main focus is satisfying performance that might not be as discerning as the experts. With that in mind, the Anker Space One Pro headphones seem to fit my requirements. Reviews report they feature great sound quality, and having used them, I can confidently say that they meet my requirements. However, what was really interesting to me were the other features. The dedicated Android compatibility, multi-point connection, custom active noise cancelling, and more really piqued my interest. What's more, the headphones themselves feature numerous manual controls and hardware options, including a built-in microphone. In terms of the exterior design, the most important things for me was the feel and weight of the headphones. The shells of the headphones are entirely plastic but feel robust and carefully engineered. More importantly, the yokes or hinges that connect the headband to the cups feel like they'll stand up to constant use. If anyone has worn premium headphones for any length of time, you'll know the age-old issue of uncomfortable pressure that comes with the extra weight. Luckily, the Space One Pros come with some nice soft cushions on the ear cups and the headband. By comparison, while I love my Grado Labs headphones I use with my computer, after several hours of hard materials and minimal cushions, it creates some discomfort on my head. I've been spending many hours wearing my Space One Pros, and overall they require some tweaking to sit nicely. At 10 ounces or 283 grams, plus the slightly stiff structure across the headband, they fit quite tightly if you have a larger head like mine. However, I fully expect them to loosen up with use. I really like the folding design to store them, but I must admit I struggled a little with the technique to collapse them consistently every time. As a side note, while the headphones have a soft carry case included, I bought mine through the Anker Soundcore website and they had an offer for a free hard case which I snapped up. The Space One Pro headphones include 44mm drivers with a 20Hz to 40kHz frequency response range. As a novice when it comes to audio appreciation and audio hardware, it's probably worth recapping the anatomy of headphones if you're not already familiar like me. In a set of headphones, the complete driver assembly includes the magnet that creates a magnetic field that interacts with the voice coil that's attached to the cone or diaphragm. The diaphragm moves the air to create the sound waves that you can hear. When listening to music, your playback device converts the musical's digital information into a fluctuating analog electrical signal using a digital to analog converter or DAC. This signal then makes the voice coil's magnetic field interact with the permanent magnet, causing the voice coil and its attached diaphragm to move and create sound waves. 40mm drivers are a very good size for this category of over-the-ear headphones. The larger housing of the headphones enables the inclusion of much bigger drivers compared to your earbuds, for example, so the sound quality will be better. While no single driver is best, different headphone drivers offer distinct acoustic qualities that are often the focus of discussions for enthusiasts and experts. While some headphones boast larger drivers, a size exceeding 44mm doesn't automatically equate to superior quality. Drivers smaller than 44mm might actually be a slight concern for headphones in the Space One Pros category, but not necessarily ranking them higher or lower than many competitors in the same bracket. A 20Hz to 40kHz frequency response range is considered very good for headphones. It exceeds the standard range of human hearing and is a requirement for high-res audio certification by the Japan Audio Society or JAS. The JAS is a long-standing and respected organisation in the audio industry, particularly in Japan. Other important hardware includes the fact that the headphones are equipped with a total of 6 microphones. 4 are AI-enhanced microphones for active noise cancelling, the remaining 2 are used for voice pickup, for voice calls and voice commands. The microphones and computational processors are part of a 4-stage noise cancelling system. The first 2 feed-forward microphones detect and supply information for the hardware AI algorithm to identify and block out background noise. This also helps isolate your voice for clear communication when using your headphones for phone calls. The ANC can be controlled in the app, but also via the handy dedicated button on the headset. You can further customize the level of noise cancelling in the app, as discussed later in this video. When using transparency mode, the headphones will use the feed-forward microphones to channel the external sound to your ear, enabling you to monitor your surroundings and also hold conversations with anyone around you. I've talked before about how active noise cancelling works in my previous videos when I reviewed the Google Pixel Buds 2 Pro. It's a feature included with most high-end modern headphones, and they all include a variation on the technology. One feature that will be especially appreciated by regular long-distance air travellers is the inclusion of a 3.5mm jack and cable. While some airlines are starting to enable passengers to connect their Bluetooth headphones and earbuds to in-flight entertainment systems, most don't. Being able to use the Space One Pro headphones instead of the free headsets supplied by airlines is a major benefit. According to the marketing, the battery will last up to 40 hours with ANC and 60 hours with it turned off. So far, in my own use case, I charged the headphones once when I bought them, and over a week later they still had 20% charge with a mix of ANC and no ANC for several hours of listening a day. Perhaps the best battery-related feature is the ultra-fast charging. After just 5 minutes of recharge, you should be able to achieve 8 hours of playback at 50% volume. But that is with the ANC turned off. You can reasonably expect to get 4 to 6 hours with the ANC turned on. The headphones require a minimum of 6-watt charger and a 1A cable for ultra-fast charging. Thankfully, the Space One Pros feature BMS, or Battery Management System, that enables you to use chargers even as high as 100 watts without fear of damaging the headphones. This also applies to higher amp cables like 3A or 5A USB-C cables. The Space One Pro headphones incorporate Bluetooth 5.3, offering significantly better technology than older protocols. This version provides up to double the data throughput of Bluetooth 4.2 and adds even better range. Plus, 5.3 increases the efficiency and reliability compared to Bluetooth 5.0. Compared to other less expensive Soundcore headphone models which use Bluetooth 5.0, 5.1 and 5.2, the raw data transfer rate remains the same at 2 megabits per second. However, the perceived speed improvements using Bluetooth 5.3 comes from efficiency and latency reductions. Bluetooth 5.3 allows for quicker switching between low power and high performance modes. This means that a device can stay in a low power state for longer but switch to a high data rate mode almost instantly when needed, like during a phone call or when streaming music. Bluetooth 5.3 also features channel classification. This feature enables devices to more intelligently identify and avoid channels with strong interference. By not having to retransmit data packets due to interference, the overall connection is more stable and reliable, which can be perceived as faster. Bluetooth 5.3 also features periodic advertising enhancement. This allows for more efficient and lower power broadcasting needed to find and connect to devices. This improves connection setup speed and battery life. In the app, under ambient sound, you can set up your own noise cancelling options. The 3 presets are ANC on, off, and transparency mode. Transparency mode uses the feed-forward microphones to channel the external audio so you can clearly hear the environmental noise, like someone speaking to you while you're wearing the headphones. With ANC on, you can also further customize the experience by choosing adaptive noise cancelling, which will adjust the ANC in real time based on the amount of environmental noise that you hear. It's a good option to help maximize battery life. Increasing the level of active noise cancelling on the Soundcore Space One Pro headphones will increase the power consumption. However, you can also set the level of ANC at a particular level. Again, a lower setting will use less power, making the twin 350 mAh batteries last longer. Side tone enables you to hear your own voice loud and clear when making and receiving phone calls using the headphones. If you've ever used headphones that impede your ability to hear your own voice while taking a call, you'll know that the muffled sound of your own voice can be distracting. The side tone feature is on by default, but you can disable the feature via the Soundcore app. Easy Chat mode automatically lowers the volume of music and amplifies the voice of the person you're talking to, so that you can communicate without taking the headphones off. When you have stopped talking for a set number of seconds, which you can specify in the app, your headphones will automatically exit Easy Chat mode and resume normal volume. LDAC is an audio coding technology developed by Sony that allows the transmission of high-resolution audio over a Bluetooth connection. It's designed to deliver significantly better sound quality than the standard Bluetooth SBC codec by allowing a much higher data transfer rate. There are some interesting considerations for LDAC for most users. For instance, LDAC is an Android exclusive feature that Apple devices don't support. LDAC is only supported by devices powered by Android 8.0 or later. However, Apple Music and a number of other streaming services do offer lossless formats like FLAC and ALAC to deliver CD quality or better sound with a compatible Android device. YouTube Music, Spotify, Pandora and SoundCloud do offer a lossy option depending on your subscription level. While the audio quality is lower than lossless, it's still acceptable for most listeners, especially on mobile devices or standard headphones. If you're a music enthusiast or creator, then you can always store your own music in LDAC-compatible formats on your Android device for playback. While LDAC provides higher quality sound, it does increase power consumption and in turn reduces battery life. One final consideration is that LDAC requires a low interference environment for maximum compatibility. Any area you find yourself in with lots of competing frequencies to Bluetooth 5.3 will potentially interrupt playback. LDAC transmits data at up to 990 kilobits per second, which is much faster than standard codecs like SBC at approximately 328 kilobits per second, or AAC, which can be up to 320 kilobits per second. This high data transfer rate, utilizing the same limited 2.4 GHz bandwidth, results in a heavier traffic load and a greater chance of audio dropouts and stutters. In the sound effects section of the app, you can find an option for Dolby Audio. It's worth pointing out that this is not Dolby Atmos. The difference is that the Dolby Audio option in the Space One Pro app simulates spatial audio experience by enhancing the stereo effect, but it's not the same as listening to content mixed specifically for Dolby Atmos, which is considered to be among the top audio technologies. One benefit is that since the headphones use simulated spatial sound, they can be used with any music streaming service without worrying about compatibility. Also, within the sound effects option in the app, you have the ability to customize your EQ settings, either using presets or using your own custom tuning. By default, the Soundcore signature EQ preset sounds fine to me for most content, but you're presented with a lot of different options. Interestingly, you can also let the app customize the EQ settings based on your own hearing function. The app will walk you through a hearing test to measure your hearing range and will generate a profile that will best suit your own level of hearing. The physical button controls have been well thought out and feel logical and intuitive. The noise cancellation button will cycle through the different noise cancellation modes that you've set up in the app, as well as the transparency mode that will enable you to hear external sound. The power button will not only toggle the headphones on, but pressing and holding the power button will start the Bluetooth pairing process. The other controls of note are the volume up and volume down buttons, which will skip and rewind to previous tracks when held down. If you receive an incoming call, pressing the play button will accept the call, and while in the call, pressing again will disconnect the call. If you hold down the play button for 2 seconds while receiving an incoming call, it will reject it. During a call, pressing and holding the play button will mute or unmute the main microphone. Finally, if you have a personal assistant set up, you can use the play button to launch it on the phone by pressing and holding the button for 2 seconds. First and foremost, the sound reproduction is perfect for my own use, which is not very demanding. I could see audiophiles and music enthusiasts wanting a bit more fidelity, but with the inclusion of LDAC for lossless sound quality, the hardware should produce an acceptable sound for a broad range of owners. Personally, I discovered that ANC is actually the best listening experience versus simply turning off the ANC, even in quiet environments. I personally noticed a low level of distracting ambient noise leakage caused by environmental sounds when not using ANC. With that in mind, plus wanting to optimize my battery life, having the adaptive ANC should ensure a good level of all-round performance. I found the actual fit of the headphones to be on the snug side for my head, which is on the larger size. However, with some flexing over time, I think it will be less and less noticeable. My one wish when it comes to the smart features is that Easy Chat also paused your audio content when speaking, so you don't miss anything. Currently, like Samsung earbuds, the feature will just reduce the volume but keep playing the content, requiring you to rewind to hear what you missed if you're listening to a podcast or watching a video. Also, while I like the idea of innumerable EQ settings and the custom tuning, I found the default Soundcore signature EQ setting to be the perfect level for my audio needs. I didn't feel the need to change it. Still, having the ability to test various settings is better than not having any choice at all, especially as everyone's hearing function is very different. Overall, I'm really happy with the Soundcore Space One Pros. Price seems right for the level of features and the performance, but picking them up on sale definitely tipped the balance. I was close to buying a more well-known brand, but can honestly say I have no regrets in buying these headphones. Thank you for watching, and as always, it would be great if you were to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content on personal technology and the connected home.